ladies and gentlemen. We will be starting our meeting momentarily. Before we start, I wanted to let you know that available for those of you viewing this presentation via Microsoft Teams is the option to view the captions or subtitles. To turn on these features, select the CC button at the bottom right corner of your screen. This turns on the captioning. Then choose the language by selecting the settings wheel next to the CC button. Select Caption/Subtitles and select the desired language. Available languages are English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Creole. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Connecticut Department of Transportation and the City of Stamford, it is my pleasure to welcome you all for attending this public informational meeting for State Project number 135-343, Rehabilitation of Bridge number 04069, Lakeside Drive over North Stamford Reservoir, located in the City of Stamford. My name is Preeti Bardwaj, and I am the project manager from the department. And I and my team are joined here this evening with the City of Stamford to discuss our preliminary design proposal for this bridge. We hope that you will find this presentation both interesting and informative. I would now like to explain the format and agenda for tonight's meeting. I will be explaining how you will be able to interact with the project team. I will be explaining how the project is funded in the Federal Local Bridge DMS, or Design Managed by the State program. We will be having some welcoming remarks by the City of Stamford. I will then introduce the project design team, and that includes the department's front office leadership, the department's design team, and our consultant liaison engineering team. This will be followed with a technical presentation of the design, which will include the condition of the existing structure, purpose and need for the project, and the recommended design solution, which has progressed to a 30% design completion. As part of the department's public outreach program, it is at this point that we are now reaching out to you, the public, while it is still early in the design process, to receive any comments and concerns and also answer any questions that you may have. And lastly, we will have the live question and answer session. I will now explain how you will be able to interact with the project team. There are 3 means of how you will be able to communicate. The first is by email, which is dotproject015-0343@ct.gov, and I will spell that out. It's dotproject015-0343@ct.gov. You can also phone in. The number is 860-944-1111. Again, that number is 860-944-1111. Or you can also communicate by chat on the MS Teams live event chat. In this format, you can ask a question by clicking on the little question mark, which shows Q&A, and this will bring up your live event Q&A field. Select the Ask a Question button at the bottom right screen, and a field will pop up. And you can type your question and hit either Enter with a little arrow button to send. You can also check the box on the bottom to post your question anonymously if you prefer. There will be a slight delay, but eventually your question will appear in the featured section with all other questions that are asked tonight. The project email, phone, and chat will be screened by the project team during the Q&A session, and the questions asked by any of these methods will be posted to the MS Teams Q&A chat window. The questions will be asked out loud for the project team to answer. You can ask questions at any time during the presentation, but we will answer these questions during the live Q&A session that follows. We also have the project webpage link, where the recording of tonight's entire presentation, including the Q&A session, will be stored. The web page will also contain the same information that I have previously explained on how to provide comments and ask questions. And that project web page is portal.ct.gov/DOT Stamford 135-343. Again, I will spell that out. It is portal.ct.gov/DOT Stamford 135-343. And lastly, please remember the comment period to ask questions and to provide comments will be open through December 17th, 2020 via either email or telephone. So if you think of a question after tonight's meeting or want to expand on a question asked tonight, you will have till December 17th to do so. The MS Teams chat function is only available during tonight's live Q&A session. We would greatly appreciate it if you could fill out a brief survey that the department has through SurveyMonkey. The virtual public informational meeting platform is still a relatively new one for the department, and this survey will help the department improve these public meetings going forward. There's also a civil rights flyer available. Both the links to the survey and civil rights flyer are located on the previously mentioned project webpage. And lastly, I am required to read the following statement as part of the Title VI Civil Rights Act, and that is, no person shall, on the basis of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation or subject to discrimination in the development of this project. I will now explain how this project is being funded. This bridge is a town-owned bridge and is being funded under the department's federal local bridge program. Traditionally in this program, the town selects a designer, and because federal funds are involved, the department provides administrative oversight because the department is considered to be stewards of those federal funds. The funding is traditionally 80% federal and 20% town for the design, rights-of-way, and construction phases of the project. However, this project is going to be funded under the department's newly launched DMS, or Design Managed by the State program. In this program, it will be the department who will be performing the design on behalf of the municipality, utilizing our consultant liaison engineers who are Close Jensen and Miller, or CJM, on this project. CJM has completed the 30% preliminary design, and it will be brought to final design completion by one of our pre-selected task-based designers. In addition, the design phase only will now be funded with 80% federal and 20% state funds. So the entire design phase is at zero cost to the city of Stamford. Although the 30% preliminary design was performed by the department, it was in full partnership and coordination with the city of Stamford. We held several meetings with the city and diligently worked together to incorporate most of the city's comments and concerns. And now we are reaching out to you, the community, to also weigh in. The initiative behind the DMS program was to expedite design delivery for municipal projects. The DMS program uses a streamlined design approach where we are able to utilize full departmental resources and are able to internally perform design tasks concurrently rather than linearly. And in this fashion, we are able to keep our municipal bridges in a perennial state of good repair. The department is pleased to be able to offer this program to the city of Stamford. The DMS program is spending your municipal and state tax dollars efficiently and effectively, and at the same time fostering great working relationships with our municipal partners. And with that, I'll now hand it over to the city of Stamford.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lou Casselo, and I am the city engineer for the city of Stamford. The Connecticut Department of Transportation performs safety inspections for all bridges over 20 feet in length at 2-year intervals, and as a result, the Lakeside Drive Bridge was identified as one of the bridges in the city that needs to be rehabilitated. Traditionally, the city selects and retains a bridge design consultant to develop the design, and they are responsible for creating construction bid documents with the city, covering 20% of the design costs. As the Connecticut Department of Transportation previously mentioned, the department has offered the DMS program to the city, where the design is managed and 100% funded by the state. The state's pre-selected consultants are knowledgeable of the design process, resulting in both an early completion of design and construction, which translates into some added cost savings. The city began meeting with the state in June of 2018 to get a better understanding of how the program works and how it would benefit the city. After several more meetings with the city recognized that this program would be a good joint effort and agreed to go forward with it on this project. While the design efforts have been led by the state, they keep the city in the loop on all aspects of the project, including providing us with various technical alternatives along the way, along with the pros and cons of each option and recommendations. They have also informed us that the city will be making the final decision on all design aspects of the project in terms of aesthetics and matters related to traffic and staging during construction. We are grateful to partner with the state on projects to repair the city's infrastructure. Please note, the public is always welcome to reach out to the engineering department of the city of Stamford if you have any questions or concerns as it pertains to this project. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce the project team. I am Preeti Bardwaj, project manager, and to my left are the department's front office leadership, which includes Mr. Bart Sweeney, division chief of bridges, and Mr. Robbie Barakat, principal engineer. To my right is Mr. Mark Burns, project engineer. The consultant liaison engineers who have brought this project to 30% design completion are Close Jensen and Miller. And from CJM, we have Mr. Mike Brady, project manager, and we have Ms. Danielle Boucher, senior engineer. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally ready to present our technical portion of the presentation, and you will be hearing a lot of bridge lingo throughout the presentation. Therefore, I am about to give you a 2-minute crash course on some of the structural elements on a bridge and the numerical condition rating system assigned on a bridge. On the diagram shown, the deck, as shown here, is the riding surface of the bridge. The parapets, or sometimes bridges can also have an open rail system, help prevent errant vehicles from going off the bridge. The beams, or the girders, are the supporting structural elements on the bridge and are designed to support vehicular loads, the self-weight of the bridge, and any environmental loads such as wind, seismic, etc. The parapets, the deck, and the beams or girders are what makes up the superstructure of a bridge. The abutments and wing walls are the end supports of the bridge, and piers, if there are any, are the intermediate supports. The abutments, wing walls, and piers make up the substructure of a bridge. The substructure not only supports the superstructure, but also helps in transmitting loads from the superstructure down to the bridge foundations. All state bridges and town bridges over 20 feet in length are inspected every 2 years by the department's Bridge Safety and Evaluation Unit and are assigned a condition rating on the major elements on a scale of 1 through 9. 9 being excellent condition and 1 being imminent failure condition. When a major bridge element reaches a 4 or poor condition, that is when we start to initiate a project to address the structural deficiencies. Now that you are armed with basic bridge knowledge, I would now like to introduce Ms. Danielle Foucher from Close Jensen and Miller, who will be presenting the technical portion of the presentation.
Thank you, Pretty. Good evening. My name is Danielle Foucher, and I will be presenting the technical portion of tonight's presentation for Bridge 4069 Lakeside Drive over the North Stamford Reservoir in Stamford, Connecticut. Here's a map of the project site. The bridge is located about a half a mile east of Route 137, just over the North Stamford Reservoir on Lakeside Drive, which is located right here. Here is an aerial view of the project site. As you can see, the bridge goes right through the middle of the North Stamford Reservoir, and the North Stamford Cemetery is located on the northwest corner of the project site. The existing structure consists of a single-span steel multi-girder superstructure with a reinforced concrete deck, supported by stone masonry abutments. The existing structure was built in 1936 and reconstructed with a superstructure replacement in 1993. The bridge has a total structure length of 40 feet with a curb-to-curb width of 23 feet 3 inches and an average daily traffic of 5,430 vehicles per day. The existing deck has a condition rating of 7, which is good. The bituminous has full width, quarter-inch wide transverse cracks at both abutments, and the galvanized stay-in-place forms show no significant size and deterioration, which I will show you in the next slide. As you can see here, the stay-in-place forms show no signs of deterioration. The superstructure has a condition rating of a 3, which is serious. And as you can see in the photo on the left, the bottom flange has severe deterioration along with the webs at both abutments. The bottom flange has section loss between 25 and 35%, and the webs at both abutments have full height section loss up to 1/8 of an inch deep. Here are some more photos of the superstructure condition. As you can see in the two top photos, the bottom flange shows large areas of section loss. The substructure has a condition rating of a 6, which is satisfactory. This rating is mostly due to the deterioration of the concrete cap, which is shown in the photo on the right. However, this will be replaced in the proposed project. The stone masonry abutments have cracks and deteriorated joint mortar up to 10%, and there are random voids between the stones, which are up to 6 inches deep. The proposed project will consist of a superstructure replacement utilizing galvanized steel stringers with a reinforced concrete deck. The bridge rail and chain link fence will also be replaced to the most current design standards. Here are a few photos of what the superstructure will look like. In the top photo, you can see the galvanized steel stringers that will be utilized. And in the bottom photo is an example of a crash-tested bridge rail that might be utilized on this project. However, behind the proposed bridge rail will be a chain link fence to protect from the reservoir. The existing stone masonry abutments will remain in place since they are in satisfactory condition. However, we will be replacing the wing walls and end blocks. The exposed portion of the wing walls and end blocks will be covered with a stone veneer similar to what is shown in the photo. Here's a plan view of the project site. As shown in orange, the proposed bridge will remain in the footprint of the existing bridge. And as shown in yellow will be the limits of the full depth roadway reconstruction, which will range about 100 feet on each side of the bridge. We will also be keeping the same roadway profile as shown in the graph below. As for utilities, the only utility found within the project limits is a water main that is located between two of the existing stringers. The existing water main will remain in place and in service during the entire duration of construction. During construction, traffic will be detoured around the project site. The detour is about 2 miles and it will be in effect for approximately 6 months. The detour will consist of utilizing Lakeside Drive to North Stamford Road to High Ridge Road or Route 137 to Interlaken Road back to Lakeside Drive. We anticipate that construction will take approximately 6 months to complete, and we anticipate starting construction in spring of 2022. This project will be funded by 80% federal funds and 20% municipal funds. The estimated construction cost is $1.24 million, which will result in a municipality share of $248,000.
Thank you, Danielle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our technical portion of the presentation. I would like to thank everyone on my design team and everyone behind the scenes who helped put this live event together. We are going to leave the Q&A session information on the screen for your benefit, and we will be answering any questions that came in during the presentation and answer any questions that will come in during this live Q&A session. Once again, we would like to remind everyone to please visit the project website to participate in the survey pertaining to tonight's event or ask additional questions or view project plans and information. For those of you listening in on the phone, the project webpage is, again, portal.ct.gov/DOT Stamford 135-343. So with that, we are now going to start the live Q&A answer session. We will take as many questions as we can. Feel free to use that chat feature or call in by phone. The number is, again, 860-944-1111, or by email. The address is, again, dotproject0-135-0343@ct.gov. Again, the comment period is open until December 17th.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have some questions, and I'll start reading the first one that we have. The first question is, was a full replacement of the bridge investigated? Danielle from CJM, can you please address this question?
Yes, thank you, Brittany. Yes, a full replacement option was investigated. However, since the condition of the substructure is in satisfactory condition, we've decided to keep the substructure and just do a super replacement.
Okay, thank you very much, Danielle. We have another question. Why can't the bridge be built in stages? Danielle, can you please address this question?
Yes. So for stage construction, we would need to widen the existing roadway. And in order to widen the existing roadway, we'd have to bring in fill into the wetlands, which would cause more permitting issues than we would want on this project. So we've decided to go with a detour. And also stage construction increases the duration of the project and also the cost of the overall project.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. We have another question. When is construction anticipated to start, and how long will the detour be in place? Danielle from CJM, can you please take this question?
Yes, we anticipate construction will take about 6 months, so the detour will be in effect for those 6 months, and we plan to start construction in spring of 2022.
Okay, Great, thank you. Next question. Will the reservoir / drinking water supply be impacted at all? Danielle, can you please take this question?
Yes. No, the drinking water reservoir will not be impacted during this project. We will take all measures to prevent that from happening. And we will be doing work only above the water line. So anything below the water line, we won't be touching, and we will be implementing debris shields and anything required to keep debris out of the drinking water.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Brady from Close Jensen and Miller. I'd also like to add that we will be continuously coordinating with Aquarian, who's the owner of the reservoir, throughout final design to ensure that all best management practices are implemented and incorporated into design so that we keep the drinking water completely unharmed, untouched during construction.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike and Danielle. And we have another question. What color will the bridge rail be? Danielle from CJM, will you please take this question?
Yes. Currently, we will be galvanizing the bridge rail, so the bridge rail will be a silver color. However, as shown in the photo, however, if the city would like to use a different color, we can finalize that during design.
Hi, this is Ivanka from the city of Stamford. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say as we go into final design, sometimes we get comments from stakeholders on the aesthetics as far as the bridge. So if we do get comments on the color of the railing, we could certainly investigate and determine if it's the best one to use on this railing also.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Savanko and Danielle. We have another question. Can timber guide rail be installed? Danielle from CJM, can you please take this question?
Yes. At this time, we're planning to install a metal guide rail just to match what is currently out there at the site. However, down the road, if the town would like to go to timber guide rail, we can definitely investigate that and incorporate that into the plans.
Savanka from the city of Stamford. I just wanted to add that on another project we're doing, we had that comment where we wanted to replace the steel rail with timber just for aesthetics, and we are incorporating it in that project. So if it does come up later on, we certainly can look into it, even though I think there's a cost differential and I think timber is more expensive than the steel. So we'd have to factor in the additional cost.
Okay. Thank you, Savanko and Danielle. I just want to make a comment that the slides are lagging the audio on the presentation. So just FYI. We do have another question. Yes? Anyone want to add anything?
Good evening. Good evening. This is Lou Casalo, the city engineer. I spoke earlier during the presentation, but don't know how many other questions there will be this evening or how many other people are listening. That's not identified on the presentation. But as one of the slides indicated, if there are any follow-up questions, there's some contact information on the city side, and anyone that has any questions is welcome to call my office, and we will coordinate with the consultant and DOT and get any other further questions addressed if something else comes to mind afterwards. And as the department indicated, you have until I believe mid-December, trying to remember the date, to provide additional comments on this project as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Lou. And we do have another question, and the question is, what color will the fence be? Danielle from CJM, do you want to take this question?
Sure. We are planning to galvanize the fence so it will match what is currently out there right now.
Okay. So I don't believe we have any more questions. We can just give it another minute or so. If anyone would please like to send in any more questions by email, it's dot project 0135-0343 @ct.gov, or call in 860-944-1111, or you can use the chat. And I would also like to remind you again that this whole presentation, including the Q&A session, will be recorded and will be posted to YouTube following the event. The recording will also be made available on the list of virtual public meetings on the link shown on the project webpage. So,
This is Lou once again.
yes.
One of the things, good evening. One of the things that we do encounter as a project issue, whether it's a bridge project, roadway construction project, anything to do with transportation, where there's utilities. It's just a note for the project design team to, if utility involvement and coordination is required, that should be something done early and often, because that always is something that could come up that potentially could have an impact on the project schedule. So it's encouraged that the project team reach out to the utilities early on, engage the utilities. The city does conduct monthly utility meetings with the various utilities. So anytime you want to reach out to us and get access if you're unable to get through to utilities, certainly my office can facilitate with that.
Thank you very much, Lou. We very much appreciate that feedback, and our consultant liaison engineers are, fully aware of that, and we always do early coordination with all utilities, and we are fully prepared to do that. So that's
great.
Not an issue here at all. Okay. It looks like we do not have any more questions being asked, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to start wrapping up. But before I do, I would like to encourage you to take that survey. The link is shown on the chat box. For those of you watching on YouTube, the survey is below the video. This would really help us improve this virtual meeting experience in the future. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the department and the city of Stamford, I would like to thank you for joining us tonight. And we hope that you found the meeting and the presentation to be informative and that we were able to answer all of your questions. All of us on the design team and the city of Stamford are always available to answer any questions, even outside of the comment period. We are also available to meet with you individually on the project site if you so desire. Thank you once again and have a wonderful evening. Yep.
I'd like to end too by saying that I'd just like to thank the department and the design team, CJM, for their full cooperation on the project, for the presentation, and for the efforts put into the job to date. So the city of Stamford is very thankful for that and look forward to working with you as we move this project and other projects forward.
Before we end, I just want to point out there was one more question that got put into the box. It's for the city of Stamford. They just want to know, where is the other project that the timber bridge rail is being used on?
The other project is a project we have on Riverbank Road, just north of the Merritt Parkway. We also used a timber rail on a bridge project we completed several years ago, also on Riverbank, and that's just west of Route 104, close to Laurel Ledge Road. So that's one you could see what it looks like as it was built, and then the other one will be in construction next year.
Franco, that bridge, this is Mark Burns, that bridge is on June Road, correct?
Well, yeah, we also have a bridge on June Road, which was done, I think, in 2014. So that would be another bridge that I think has the timber rail. The other one on Riverbank, which was a box culvert, was the most recently constructed, and that was 2018, I think we finished that one.
Okay.
So if anyone's interested, you could see what it looks like.
All right. I think that's it for the questions. Sorry I missed that one. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great evening.
Thank you.